Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DotP Wednesday in-house. This is week 3, lobby 2, game number 1. With you as always is Wivrex. I've got a special guest star with us today, the man himself. Not false,
but true?
but
I
true,
guess.
and able to sort
Alright.
things in order of priority. Triage, Mr. True Triage.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on the cast. Well, we already got this. Let's just get into this real quickly already. We got the Luna and the Tiny Ban. Luna, a very powerful pick already, shown very much in pubs and being a fairly quick ban in a lot of ranked games. What do you think so far?
Agree with the Luna pick, although I had a horribly unlucky game with her where I had an Eclipse that there were 2 creeps within range of it and 4 enemy heroes, and it 100% hit the creeps.
Dire team's turn to pick.
And I was sad. The Tiny is a targeted ban against Flub.
Really? So Flub is known for his Tiny?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. See, I don't know any of the people here, so we'll do the name rundown later on. However, if there is any person that I suppose we should look out for, of the only people I know around here, I know that Chilled is the god of throwing. He will throw unbelievably hard, and it's going to be fun to watch. Outside of that, I'm kind of walking in blind here. I'm sure you noticed this is my first DotP cast, so here we go.
So Flub and Don't Make Me Laugh, that's Maya Tovent, are going to be the guys to watch for. They'll probably be the ones who their team wins the game off the back of them. Maya will typically play a lot of really slippery carries. So the Slarks, the Weavers, the Morphlings, stuff like that, and he's just a nasty monster when he gets them.
Who is Maya?
Don't Make Me Laugh.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Well, we already got the first, but we got the Rubik. I love Rubik because Rubik, in a lot of cases, thrown under the bus as a support role. However, I personally feel like if you play Rubik as position 3, he can be extremely fun. It's just oftentimes very difficult with him being such a squishy hero. I feel like he's one of those heroes that has so much potential, but he's very difficult to pick up and get to that point. And then your APM has to be that of a StarCraft player to actually play properly.
Absolutely. And, you know, it can depend on his viability in a game can depend on the spells that are available to steal. And with a Pudge being picked into him, a Stolen Hook is one of those things where the team is usually not expecting it, and it can absolutely get a key pick and turn a fight pretty well, or start a fight off on the right ground. So I like that already.
Yes, very true. It will be very interesting to see as the game goes, because you see, at this point, because they did do the first pick on Rubik, the Radiant side are now going to have to be very careful, because they have to now pick around, knowing that Rubik will have the ability to steal pretty much anything. I feel like the pick on the Pudge is it's almost cocky. It's making them think, you know what, you guys may have the opportunity to steal our hook, but we're going to go around it. We're thinking that we're going to be good enough that you're never going to be able to fully utilize it. Which, if that's the case, it'd be awesome to see.
But they do also pick up a Slardar. This is someone who's very good at getting on top of the Rubik and can pick him off pretty easily if he is lucky with the bashes.
Yes, he is. Now, if anyone, I'm not sure if this is a universal thing, but let's talk about the bash. All right, let's talk about more specifically. Let's talk about the RNG. You mentioned a moment ago Eclipse and how the any time that you have something where it's like, this could go really well for me if the numbers add up, and if not, I'm screwed. How often do the numbers even work out? Because for me, it seems like if I have a 90% chance to succeed, that means it's really 10% chance to succeed, and 9 out of 10 times it's going to fall apart.
Well, it's hard to gauge as an observer here. If I was playing the Slardar, then I would not get a bash. If we were playing against the Slardar, he will bash every time.
He'll get that first hit and bash anytime you need it. Alright. Well, it looks like we got the Pit Lord ban, which is actually kind of interesting. Pit Lord being very powerful simply because he is one of those most dominant offlaners. If he gets a small lead, he can lead into an absolutely brutal game, and leading into a Centaur ban. It seems like they're banning out tanky offlaners. I'm curious about that. Maybe they're trying to take out the initiation?
I'm not sure of these players here. I can't say who will most likely be playing the offlane. It's definitely not going to be Maya. I don't believe it'll be Chilled.
Well, let's see. I would say Chilled seems to be, I would bet they're going to send Gugu down mid lane.
Dire team's
That's
turn
based on what I
ban.
know about Gugu, Matt. And I would also bet if they do not ban an Arc Warden, Gugu will ask to take Arc Warden mid. Even though Arc is dead, he'll still find a way because he plays a really good Arc Warden.
Seconds remaining.
I'm very curious to see because they ban out a lot of spell damage
5
and
seconds
high
remaining.
burst damage characters on the Radiant side. They're banning out those high burst carries, and on the Dire's banning high burst carries, and the Radiant are banning. Well, looks like we have a couple carries and a couple very tanky people. They seem to be worried about initiations here, which is interesting, really. If they're trying to possibly cripple them.
I
just for
could
that.
not even imagine seeing Maya playing an Ember with how Ember is right now. It would be probably a pretty short game.
I see.
And there's a Weaver ban as well. So
Weaver ban.
Morphling's still in the pool. I suspect we might see him. A lot of times Maya might also take a mid puck.
Well, that's not a terrible idea, especially Puck being powerful. And then you could have a roaming Pudge. Let's see, with the IO. IO is one of those characters that's actually very synergistic with pretty much anything. He's a good glue for a team. But we're going to assume that IO is going to go down into the probably the position 5 role. Slardar is going to be taken off lane, and Pudge I'm assuming is going to roam, which means they need to pick a safe lane carry and a mid laner.
5 seconds remaining.
One thing I think that the Radiant team needs to be careful for right now, though, is that they're actually they have 3 strength heroes, and if the Dire were to pick up a Timbersaw, it could be brutal right now just because of that Whirling Death.
Absolutely agreed. I'm not sure if we have any of the Timber players here. I actually haven't seen him in any in-houses in quite a while.
Spirit Breaker.
Spirit Breaker. Oh, there's the initiation they need for the ganks. That'll actually be very nice to see. Spirit Breaker always being nice to actually being able to pick off even a Slardar if Slardar tries to sprint to get away, or if you could just get that 17%. It could be very interesting as a dynamic. I would assume Spirit Breaker will be a roamer. Oh, the Invoker mid lane, obviously, leaving Pudge to roam. With a team like this, they do have a strong team fight right now and a strong initiation via Slardar and Pudge. What I would say they need right now would probably be... I think that the Radiant team just need one decent physical damage person to tie it all
5
off.
seconds remaining.
Their team fight right now through the Invoker, Slardar, and Pudge is actually good enough that they could possibly even run a rat strategy.
Radiant team
However, I feel like a Anti-Mage is far from what they need.
I think
I'm very curious.
I think Morphling, if Dire does not ban Morphling, which I heavily suspect that they would because they all know and have played against Maya,
10
if they don't
seconds
ban it,
remaining.
I think they pick it up.
Dire team's turn to ban.
Let's see, Windrunner to the off lane or potentially to the mid. Windrunner mid is not something to shake off, which very fun and very easy to lane against an Invoker most of the time.
10 seconds
Invoker, of
remaining.
course, if he goes for a Quas build, all that Windrunner needs to do is pop Windrun, and
5
she never
seconds
has to worry
remaining.
about Cold Snap. Dark's here banned. They're really trying to secure their safe lane. They've banned out 3 tanky offlaners that would mess up a melee carry. So I'm very... I want to say they're going to pick up someone who would be a melee or very close to being melee. See, with it being Captain's Mode, I don't believe we have Monkey King available to the pool. I'm actually thinking we will see that Morphling going down for the Radiant side.
Burning up all their reserve time. Oh, they're gonna do a Lifestealer ban.
Dire team's
They wanted to
turn
get rid of Lifestealer because of their strength heroes and because Lifestealer is one of the biggest counters to Pudge that currently that is out there. If Lifestealer gets hooked, all he has to do is use Rage and he can instantly turn on Pudge. There's nothing to do about it. Same thing for Slardar. Lifestealer can man up on him most of the time.
But
Also
that was
with the Spirit
the
Breaker
opposite
bomb,
team.
that's
That was the
always-
opposite team that banned Lifestealer.
5 seconds remaining.
Yes. Oh. Dire banned Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't do this often.
Thinking of things that are left in the pool, I'm wondering, what you're talking about offlaners that can cause a melee hero harm. Oh my god.
Oh. Now it makes sense.
This might be Chilled playing the Meepo.
I will be very impressed to see exactly what happens. I would assume that we're going to be seeing the IO and Invoker running around. I would assume Invoker's going to go for a very heavy ganking build and then pick up with Pudge shortly after he hits about level 7 or 8. We may end up having a dual roaming IO Pudge just so they can move around a little bit faster and get that extra bit of damage going out. The Meepo versus Clockwork lane could be pretty rough for them. But
Looks
how
like
about you introduce the teams for us?
Sure. It looks like we will usually do this when we get a dot pause. That is the beginning of every single game. It usually starts with pause, and we're not having that recently, so that era may be over. But we are going to be having on the Radiant. Gugu will be the one playing our Meepo. Don't make me laugh, Mr. Maya Tovent. On our Pudge. Chubby on the Slardar. IO will be played by our Chilled Wind, and Master Jabater will be on the Invoker. Meanwhile, we've got a little smoke action from the Dire, so let's get him introduced quickly. It'll be Rip Mary Tyler Moore on the Wind Ranger. Mr. Top Gun on Betamax will be playing the Spirit Breaker. Chrono Zeal on the Jug. Look at your map on the Clockwork, and Rubik will be played by Mr.
Looks like we're about to have an
Dub.
initiation. They're moving in. Looks like Rubik is trying to get in range, but Rubik is not fast enough, seeing as the Meepo has base speed of 315. Oh, but there is going to be a pickup, and it looks like that's going to be a very easy first blood. Down goes 17% with the battery assault working. Easy first blood, easy rune, and they're going to be able to secure what appears to be 3 runes for the Dire side.
Mr. Triage, give me your read on these teams. Who's going to have the laning advantage? Who might be controlling the mid game? Is one team on a timer and need to close this out in a certain amount of time before it's insurmountable for them? Or you can tell me about Chilled Wind getting picked up right now.
It looks like there's going to be a little bit of knocking around happening right there. If we look over on the mid lane, we do end up having the Windrunner versus the Invoker. If I had to say who has a timer, actually the teams look fairly balanced. If I had to put an edge on one of the teams, I would probably put it towards the Radiant side, just because Spirit Breaker does fall off pretty hard, and Rubik, with a lot of late game potential, he needs a lot of farm. And so it is very up in the air for me. I'd say that for a team to dominate the early game would absolutely fall down to who gets more kills. I feel like there's going to be a lot of momentum. If Pudge picks up those early kills, he could start taking over everything. However, both Clockwork with his initiation at level 6, as well as Spirit Breaker being able to charge at any time, can be very powerful. Again, the same thing can be said for Chilled Wind with Relocate teaming up with Pudge, Invoker, or Slardar.
Ooh, it is going to be a fight here in the bottom. Look at your map.
It looks like that's going to be a very easy kill. There goes one Clockwork. They're all moving in. He cannot get away. Top Gun on Betamax, slowed to death, and double kill for Maya. Don't make me laugh. Easy, easy flesh heap step. If you don't mind me asking, who do you think will dominate the early to mid game? I'm saying sub 20 minutes.
Well, it's hard to say. As you said, these teams do seem pretty even. It's going to depend a lot on what the teams do. There's no clear power curve. I think the Meepo, if he might be in that sort of time, in that sort of amount of time, he could be in that position where he's obviously much more farmed than everyone else. Has a few cheap items and nobody has BKBs or any real way to deal with him yet, and he can just poof on people.
Oh, we do have a gank going in. The hook was able to get picked up on Windrunner, but it is not enough, and Maya might end up falling right here. With one hit, they're able to put it in. They move Chillin back 70%, not quite there, but if they get one more hit, boom, 2 for 0. The gank was bad. The charge for added effect. with Rex, with the 7.0 patch, we got these beautiful little shrines. What's your take so far?
They're good, except for when they're bad. Yeah, a lot of things. It's been pointed out and talked to death, but the safe lane shrine is a hell of a lot further away than the off laner's shrine is on both teams. So that's making the. We got another death onto IO. Nice charge in.
Was very easy to charge, very easy spin.
So it's something that's been adding to an increasing disparity and difference between what used to be the safe lane is a little bit more, is less safe these days, and being in that off lane, the hard lane, is less hard these days.
It does seem like there is a very involved balance. It has really increased the frequency of a roaming support, if not even two roaming supports. I've found in many games recently that people actually just run a single dominant person on each individual lane while having an active jungler and an active roamer. This being allowed due to the shrines, because it allows for people to heal up, get their mana back, the bounty runes popping up left and right, allow for the roamers to not even fall behind if they don't pick up many kills. Looks like we may have a little bit of fun going on over on the top lane, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Flood is trying to seem like nothing's happening, but the charge is there. Chuby, he got charged, didn't see it coming, he already got zapped. There is going to be the stun, and there is no with 17%. Not enough of a follow-up. If Chrono did want to try and pull himself away from those creeps, could have had potential, but no, not really.
Chuby's just going to shrine up, back to the lane he goes.
And to the mid lane, Windrunner dies.
Gank will be successful this time around.
Yes, and poor Top Gun, no charge. If he had enough mana, it would have been a very, very easy kill, and that bottom shrine, pulling off, getting them all of the mana they need.
5 minutes.
Whenever someone feels like activating it.
Looking at our last hits 5 minutes in, Chrono is doing he's having a much better time than Gugu. Almost doubling his CS. In our mid, we're pretty even, 16-16. And the offlaners, also quite even.
So far, it seems the farm is going fairly well. The kills on each side are going very well. The one thing I do want to point out, though, is that the Pudge does actually have...
Another gank train here on the bottom.
Oops. Pudge already has picked up 3 kills and an assist. That should be about 3 to 4 flesh heap stacks. So that at 6 minutes, once he finally starts skilling that ability, will end up giving him a nice little boost.
Charge coming in, onto IO is found again. Cancels the charge, it wasn't for him.
Flubadub doing the work, the charge, and 17% follow-up. You know what they say about Greater Bash?
Works 17% of the time?
It works every time. Now,
so damage went out on Chuby, he is going to be able to sprint away. Ooh. Barely made it out. That was the...
Like Chuby is actually... Chuby is probably worried. At this point, he can't really do much of anything to pressure the top lane. And the Juggernaut at 7 minutes having phased boots, Poor Shield, and Aquila. He's going to be hitting about 100 at 7 minutes with the Quelling Blade. CS will never be an issue for him right now. It would appear the Dire team, though, they're going to make a move here on the mid lane. Invoker has no way of seeing this coming. They just have missing people.
Charges
up. We do have the smoke. The charge is going through. There's everybody. We've moved in. The lift. Stacked it up. There is an EMP, and it is going to go off. There's now 0 mana. Looks like... Oh, the hook lands on Windrunner. Of all people, it should have been a very easy hook on Flub, who had no way to take it back. A little bit questioning Mia's prioritization there. Mia having Tango Salve and Bottle, no threats.
Gugu doing some damage to look at your map. Ooh, he's barely gonna escape.
I hear that name and I'm like, I put it in.
Shrines. Schultz is pinged out. Are they gonna have a charge here?
Bottom tower is under attack.
Charge is up. There's the charge. Charge is coming in. Shield is tethering a mile away, desperately trying to avoid this gank.
But oh, they're gonna stop, and of all things, oh, they wanted to move in on the Meepo. But the beautiful, beautiful hook, with the battery assault, it might not be enough. They can move in enough range to get... Wow, those nets were beautiful.
The rocket's going to take him out. It's going to be a counter initiation for Radiant.
But it will cost him his life.
Flub is on the run now. Hook is going to miss, just barely. Chubby, no mana for the crush. They don't need it, though.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
Safe to say, no crush needed, and a kill moving onto the Invoker. That's going to actually put him a little bit ahead. If we jump over to the net worth charts, we have the Windrunner being ever so slightly ahead of the Windrunner right now because of the successful ganks we have had on the mid lane. And so it could be very difficult, but it looks like that Master Debater is trying to keep ahead just a bit with those raindrops, trying to play a more defensive style.
Got a Chubby. Oh, Chubby, that was the bad place to be. Clock Hook is going to just peg him, and immediately they'll commit the Omni as well.
Now, before it goes away, I do want to just mention one thing. These wards on the mid lane, this is something that is actually one of the most powerful things you could do for your mid laner in the early game. It's why in many pro games they constantly have sentries, even if there's not an invis hero. Having this ward will constantly give you the high ground vision that you have permanent visibility of whoever you're laning against. It helps for burst, helps for CS.
Here in the cogs, taking a lot of damage to battery. Oh, he's managed to make it into the shrine. Instead it'll be a hook, counter hook onto the clock. You have hooks, I have hooks too, sir. Now Flub on the run. He does not stand a hit chance here. That was a very, very good effort at getting a key gank off onto that Mr. Meepo. Fortunately, good TP is going to keep him alive.
It looks like the active Roman is going on as the cold snap goes in, but they're trying to look for the stun. It's not going to be there. It might end up costing Flub's life, though. However, with the levitate to pick you up and to put you back down, it's going to be done. He is able to get away a little bit of damage. He is out of this fight. Zeal is moving in. Juggernaut spin, 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 and down goes an IO. We do have
Invoker
the
on the
power
run.
slide is moving in. The charge is going down on the Invoker. Invoker goes stealth. They do not have detection.
Last
Hook
nice
goes in.
hook
Hook
on
lands
that.
on Flub, but they put the cold snap down immediately. Beautiful stolen cold snap on the Rubik, and the hook shot still lands, getting the Invoker down. That ended up moving from a beautiful gank to a wonderful turnaround, and it's going to lead to 0 for 3, or not.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse. They're beating on Dire's top tower.
Take the opportunity to, of course, pick up that easy objective, laid right into their hands.
Fortify their structures.
Now, charge is going top.
Tower?
Poof was just used.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Will they be able to take this tower in time? They will. However, what will it cost him? They're trying to poof away, but they don't have any stun. It won't be enough. No mana on the clock. It appears that both teams are trying to do a very aggressive roaming strategy to try and pick up and stay ahead. The only thing that can go south with this strategy is that if you don't properly let your carry farm while doing this, is that if it fails, your entire game is shiny. Chubby with the casual amp damage. And he didn't quite stack the camp. Good job. Looks like with people being fully aware of the Windrunner, Chubby is just trying to get... He's actually going for a Force Staff right now, so it looks like he's going to go Force Staff before a Blink Dagger for that extra initiation.
Mary Tyler Moore barely going to be able to avoid the net.
Yeah, it was either a very good play or a very bad net, but we'll let you decide.
These, if Dire is able to keep this vision up that they have, these continued hook and charge ganks that they've been getting are going to be very easy. Radiant keeps wanting to cross the river and try to put their own pressure up, but they're playing right into Dire's hand right now.
Absolutely. It looks like now with Chrono Zeal, he's now applying pressure onto the tower. He's got the Helmet Dominator, which actually picking up the Ensnare on a from the Dark Troll Summoner is very powerful. For a lot of people who don't really go with the creep abilities, being able to hold a person down for an extra 2 seconds is generally all you need to be able to catch him and finally put him into the ground.
Meepos poof in, but they don't get enough damage onto Flub. Oh, he does manage to pick up a kill before going down on that Wind Ranger. Master Debater now is in. Already used the Tornado. Doesn't really have any chase.
I was actually right. I was assuming that it would be a Quaswex Invoker, and it is what we're seeing here. Looks like it's going to go for more of a heavy team fight. While this is good for Disable and ganking, it could also be very bad because it lacks damage. However, it does look like their team has enough damage to compensate. And we have Flub and Top Gun. They're looking for the Invoker kill. Comes out of nowhere. He zaps him. He lifts him up. Puts him down a little bit back. The charge does go in. EMP goes out. Stolen the Tornado. And they have the Sentry. Will it be good? Zap, zap. Down he goes. There is, in fact, a hook on the Spirit Breaker, though. Looks like Spirit Breaker's going to go down. They're going to trade. Uh-oh.
Oh, the pushback puts all the poof out of range.
That was actually a beautiful cog. A little bit preemptive on the poof coming in. But the damage is still very much there, and Clockwork will end up going down if Mia can get this hook off on Flub. But Flub is able to get behind this nice little wall of creeps. Not anymore. Hook lands, and he rotted himself to death. Well, shouldn't even say that. He didn't deny himself. He just died. All in all, that was a great rotation. I have to say the rotations this game have been very good. Top lane.
And there's that that net you were talking about, that root. Very powerful. Maya's gonna go for a hook here. I think he knows the creep wave's coming in and can't do anything.
Looks like Dire fortified their structures.
Looks like we already have Spirit Breaker charging in. He's angry. He's moving in. He wants to take that Meepo. Or is he just trying to get himself into a position to do so? Nope, they're trying to take the Meepo. And then that's a 1. There's the zap. They've figured out who they want to kill. Power Shot goes in. They poof, poof, poof. It won't be enough. Spirit Breaker will go down as the Slardar finish them off.
Great job by Slardar getting a return kill out of that. It's something that obviously you don't want the... Oh, nice hook onto Chronozeal. Immediately gets dismembered up.
There's the dismember.
But the healing ward's up.
Healing ward will be good. It's going to be just enough to keep him alive.
He's got his hook.
He does have enough mana for a hook, and he's trying to find it. There it is. The hook does go in. Healing ward is still there. That was beautiful micro coming out of Chronozeal. I know many people who would just spam click to get himself away from the pudge, moving the ward away.
We're fighting bot. Chewy taking a lot of damage from the power shot, or not the power shot, the focus fire.
I'll tell you what, can we just go on and off on who casts or who shoutcasts each fight?
Whoever notices it first. Yeah. All right. So the action is still going on the bottom. Chewy going forward onto Wind Ranger. He doesn't hit the crush. The action's going to be in the back instead. That was a nice distraction. Flub gets rooted up. He'll be going down. Chewy, low health. He's trying to chase down. Look at your map. Gets hit by a power shot. And will be on the retreat. Both teams get... No! The hook comes out. It's going to hit Wind Ranger. Dismembered up. Wind Ranger goes down. A nice 2 for nil trade on that one.
That was actually absolutely gorgeous. What I will say, though, was interesting is that with the new change to Power Shot now deals less damage per targeted hits. And I feel like actually with the Power Shot hitting the 2 centaurs before Slardar, that actually kept Slardar alive without him most likely realizing exactly how that happened. A little bit of patch notes hurts.
Dire's bottom tower
Is that so? It reduces by 20% each hit. Does that mean that it zeroes out after 5, or is it the 80% is further 20%ed?
20% additively. So it does 20%, then 20% of that, then 20% of that, then 20% of that.
Charge is coming in right now on the bottom to Master Debater. Nice Cyclone's going to stop him in his place. Cold Snap is there. He's got no mana from the EMP. The net will land. Poofity. Oh, he's stunned. A very nice throwback, but Master Debater will pick up the kill. Everyone else is on the run. Oh, a nice Force Staff is going to put him into those cogs, and that is exactly what he wanted. A crush will take down the Clockwork. In the end, Flub is on the run. Oh, but we've got a nice stop to Jug, who tried TPing in to help. He's going to TP right into the enemy team.
That was a beautiful fight, just one at a time, able to pick him off. The entire time, the Dire team was just trying to run away. It wasn't they were able to fight one at a time. Every single kill. And the last one! It's gonna be a kill! Wait, no, he is able to get the wind run. They're able to get away. The disable was not quite there. Power shot just to spite you, even though it is a very clear lost fight. Mia coming out with all of those hooks. Being level 10 now and picking up that H strength, unable to get that hook on the Spearper. But the net goes down. They're trying to continue the net. Okay, the poof damage does go up, but it's definitely not enough. Power shot goes out. Looks like Puck might actually be in a really rough position right now.
No,
Wait, never mind, he's in the position he wanted. Looks like we do have Gugu Matty's getting hit again. Gugu will go down. Now, power. We have Master Debater. He's trying to run. However, they do see it. Is he going to be able to get away? Yes, he will.
Chilled keeps him alive. Just barely, maybe.
Be able to survive this.
No.
5-4, not enough.
Do you think that TP tether was necessary, or do you think Invoker was getting out of there regardless?
I feel like, did he actually mail him, like give him a TP scroll? He relocated in to give him a TP?
No, he was already TPing, and then Shield TP'd in, or relocated in. Actually, he was relocating when the Invoker started his TP. Rather than just bailing after he started his TP, Shield stayed around, tethered him, and healed him up a little bit. But I couldn't tell if it was enough to keep him alive, or if it was insignificant and he would have lived anyway.
It was very insignificant, and is I don't mean this in a rude way towards Chilled, but it was a very Chilled win play. He came out with great intentions, but they were not needed. The stuns were not there, but if the stuns had landed, it probably would have just resulted in everyone dying in that situation. IO could have attempted to pop the overcharge and bottle to keep both of them alive, and if that ended up working, it would have been great. All in all, again, the stuns weren't there, so it wasn't necessary.
Every coin helps.
Oh, don't make me laugh. Gets a nice ward here and immediately scouts out Chrono. There won't be a hook today, though. Flub is invis.
Look at that. We're at the 20-minute mark. We do have 11 flesh heap stacks.
Gugu's up here, though, and it gets spotted by Flub. Lots of damage going out. Flub is going to die. It'll be a relocate in. Chrono gets enough to kill the Meepo. Top Gun charged in, but is just in a bad position. Nice tether, nice shackle.
No, will the earn damage being enough to put him down? Now, there's one thing that wasn't brought out in that fight. Down at the Dire Shrine, Mia actually landed a hook on the Windrunner farming Ancients, and right as he lands, Spirit Breaker, by sheer chance, charges through the Pudge, canceling the Dismember. And it led into the wonderful fight.
Looks like Radiant's getting back to their side now, mostly looking to farm up a little more. Chilled grabbing some bounties. What's our Meepo's still dead, unfortunately. So no, I don't think they are looking to take an objective right now. They are posturing around mid. Charge is coming in on Chubby. A nice 4-step forward for Flub. He's going to get the lift off, but instead he will get dismembered and hooked in the back. Slow Dart goes down as well. Master Debater trying to help.
This is actually going to be a terrible fight. As the Meepo comes in, they're able to turn it around. There goes Ruby. There's Clockwork. There goes Spirit Breaker. Meepo keeps on running in. The root missing. They're trying to back off right now. However, will there be a Tornado or a Cold Snap? They do not have any phase or enough move speed to get it. The Pudge is not in position. If he had a Blink Dagger, perhaps, but not today. Wait, there goes the hook. It will miss.
The boys.
They're trying to go for an easy tier 1 tower. Right now, if they try and push this momentum, they could actually not only take the tier 1, but actually put a lot of pressure down on the tier 2 tower. They still have all of their, well, it's one of the things about the Radiant team that I'm actually noticing. He's being risky, but he's got to get that GPM. One thing I actually just realized, I know I'm a little bit slow on the uptake for this, the Radiant side actually, all of their ultimate abilities are either passive or they're not massive fight winners. I mean, Corrosive Haze is nice, Dismember is nice, and Relocate is nice, but none of them are anything like, obviously like a Black Hole, an Omni Slash, a Focus Fire, or a Hook Shot, or a Spell Steal. So,
Another hook on the Flub.
What I'm getting at is that, okay, continue.
Fight's breaking out immediately. Clockwork's gonna go down as well. Flub did not stand a chance in all of them. Kona will get the kill onto Meepo, and immediately Omni's onto Chubi. He gets him. Force Staff wasn't able to cancel that. Charge in onto Chilled Wind.
Purge coming out. Good value on the Helm of the Dominator. Able to purge for the move slow, but it will not be enough, as Io will end up falling. On the follow-up fight, we end up going 3 for 0, many of those kills being solo kills for the Juggernaut. Very much being what he needs, as the Juggernaut is able to keep up with Meepo in both gold and almost in levels. Well, not really 4 levels behind, but it's a Meepo.
That's not bad for a Meepo, yeah, for going up against the Meepo. Oh, Master Debater's gonna go in just the tornado to mess with him. He's not looking to stick around.
So what I was trying to say just a moment ago, because the fights are so consistent in this game, it's impossible to talk. The Radiant can fight at full strength at pretty much any time. Their biggest limiter is actually just their mana pool. Beyond that, they don't have any major cooldowns that they're scared of. Most of their abilities will be off cooldown within 30 seconds of each other, which is a very big deal. That being said, the Dire side has to wait on certain things, like it's tough for them to fight without having an Omni Slash. It's difficult for them to fight without having Spirit Breaker with all of his cooldowns. Looks like we're not going to see a... Wow, we're going for a Yule Scepter Divinity on the Clockwork as opposed to an Aghanim. So again, then we're going to have the hook shot on a 55-second cooldown. These things all hinder the Dire's ability to fight and initiate in this very combat-heavy game.
Yeah, and the Clockwork's only level 12, so he just barely got that level 2 hook shot. It's going to be a while before he gets that next level 3 and a further 15-second reduction on the cooldown. 40 seconds is manageable on a hook.
Hold on the bottom lane. Wait, nope, he gets away, uses the Force Staff. He is not going to have any of that. I apologize. 40 seconds is manageable.
Pudge is getting a Yules as well.
Scepter does allow for being able to pick people up, which can be nice. I think what they're trying to do is reduce the. Radiant seem to be. I'm actually very curious about this.
Baiting out an Omni and then use yourself.
Rooted, so you can avoid poof damage. That's probably the logic for the Clockwork. The Pudge is probably going for it so he could Yules himself in the event he gets Omni Slash, and he doesn't have to take damage from Omni Slash for the duration of it.
It's a good. It's a good tool for stopping a Spirit Breaker charge as well.
Yes. The Force Staff, we've already seen the value in that, just giving them the extra mobility they need to hound people down, which is really nice. A very fast, uncontested Roshan. Corrosive Haze doing the job it needs to do.
Radiant's bottom tower is no more.
Alright,
I'm
Dire
very curious.
gonna go ahead and try and push some objectives themselves while the Radiant is up top. They don't know that they're up there, but they have a pretty good idea that most of them are centered around and fighting together, as they have been most of this game now, most of this mid-game. TP's coming in bottom. It's gonna be Don't Make Me Laugh. Here comes the IO as well, brings Gugu in. Oh, most of the poof damage isn't gonna hit. Hook goes out, it does connect on the Clockwork.
Hook does land.
Oh.
Hook shot to get away. Will he be able to land a net though? Alright, he's able to drop
Master
down.
Debater's doing all the damage to Clock though. Oh, a nice shackle's gonna keep him alive a little bit longer.
Stun. They keep on trying to back up, but they're not out of the weather yet. Oh, here we go, the slithering crash, and down he will go. EMP goes up on Juggernaut, and they're able to get the root effect. It's going to be one dead Spirit for one dead Rubik as they're still trying to get away. And a
used on
dead
Chubi.
Slardar trading for the Clockwork.
Oh, that hook just missed.
Hook goes out, not going to be enough. They're trying to look for a root, but the Dismember will be good, and it's going to be a very, very dead Windrunner. 1 for 4, the momentum is really starting to pick up on the Radiant team. If they can keep this momentum going, especially since they still have the Aegis, they can actually sweep through the tier 2s right now. With Io pushing up top, if Io goes to the bottom lane with Relocate just to pick up Invoker for a faster push,
I think
that could get them both of the tier 2s moving into Shrines and taking high ground.
That last fight, there was a somewhat significant, I'll just say it, a major misplay from Dire. After after Flub got hooked on the Rubik, the rest of his team was already past the river, and they turned around. All 3 of them turned around and started heading back, and then Rubik just died. He exploded. They had everyone there, and that little bit of of movement back towards the enemy was all they needed to close the gap and now pick off an additional 3 people. I think if they had just kept running back and not turned around, that would have been a much more effective disengage and wouldn't have lost as much from it.
I absolutely agree with you. One of the things that often happens in Dota is you just have kind of that team mentality. People will move in groups, and so you'll see one person will move down a little bit, and suddenly everyone moves down, then everyone moves up. It can be very difficult to keep a solid strategic idea of what you need to do, and Rubik's going to die right now. There's nothing I can even say about that. 4 staff dismember, didn't even need the tornado. Nighty night. Looks like right now the Dire just need to find a way to try and make a little bit of money. They did have a gold lead with Windrunner and Juggernaut being 2 and 3, and Meepo being number 1 as he should be. But Invoker and Slaughter are now picking up very quickly. We go over to Slaughter, and Slaughter does have his Blink and Force Up, so he's being very mobile, and he's actually surprisingly tanky. And the Hand of Midas is going to keep him getting gold right now. They can't really stop that.
And Meepo did go for the Ags. Is that I've been hearing that that's something atypical of how Meepo's being played these days, or is that just in specific circumstances?
I feel like the Aghanims is still a very core item for Meepo because it adds so much to Meepo. It adds an extra Meepo. It's very difficult to turn it down. I don't play Meepo enough. My friend Sheepstick plays him a lot, but I haven't talked Meepo strategy with anyone ever.
I mean, plus,
Chuby,
why would you even be friends with Meepo players?
Chuby, please do the deny. Come on, man. I believe in you. All right, don't deny. Fine.
That's one of those things. I believe in this situation, you would leave that up until the wave is like momentum is coming back your way, because once it gets under the tower, it can it can still shoot at creeps and push the wave back without losing that tower and giving that gold over right now. Oh, the Aegis went down on Gugu. I think one of his Meepos was up here and got picked off. Another hook onto Flub. Oh, Flub just has hook magnets in him today. Gugu's gonna get pushed out of the cogs, and now Clockwork's the one in trouble. Tornado comes out, it's gonna hit onto 2. Here's the EMP. All 4 heroes hit. Windranger on the run. It'll be another hook. Chrono. Oh, there's that Yules we were talking about. Don't make me laugh. Is gonna be alive, or lives through that Omni. All the action top as well. We have a split fight. Oh, Chrono actually took out Pudge. He just beat him up.
Down. Pudge going down is kind of nice. It looks like they were trying to move in on Master Debater, and it looks like the Radiant team is still focused on putting down the barracks. If they can get the barracks, that's going to be very good. However, with the 2 biggest team fighters out of the way, the Windrunner and Juggernaut being the most powerful people on the Dire side could actually turn this around right now. Let's see. We do not have an Omni Slash on Chronozeal, so Chronozeal moving in with Blade Fury is definitely not the play. They're saying go for the shrine, but it will not be enough, because Chronozeal will end up going down. He does have a buyback available, and he will have to use it if they intend to try and defend the base. Otherwise, Meepo is going to continue just tearing through the base. Hook shot misses. Chilled Wind is going to be able to survive. Chilled Wind is trying to
Windranger. Oh, no way Windranger gets out of there.
The Guardian Greaves comes in, and there's the Greaves active, and it looks like everyone is going to die. Windrunner did go and pop a shrine real quick, but it isn't going to be enough. Maybe they'll be able to kick him out. Wait a minute.
Oh,
the
another shackle
goes down. They're trying to pick up and pick him off. There goes the Meepo. Meepo will go down. However,
they did get a lane of Rags.
Yes. Lane of Rags is very nice. I feel like what ended up happening there was that while the Radiant team was doing a good job of pushing, they got a little bit too fight happy. And that's something that happens very often. You get caught up in the momentum of a fight, like kill more, kill more, kill more.
Oh,
ooh,
Flub.
the hook magnet's not working this time. But sometimes you don't need magnets to kill.
Chill did a very chilled play. I think he relocated in here with that Pudge, and then immediately Chilled gets killed. I don't think it was a relocate. Not sure. But they were there, still left over.
And that is never a good thing.
So I think it was the Invoker There's something so sad and feel bad about getting shackled to your own Helm of the Dom creep that you control. Ooh,
We
in a bit of
have
trouble.
Clockwork using his blade mail, but it will not be even close to enough to keep him alive. The Earn damage goes out. Cold Snap damage comboed with Earn will be enough to kill him. Wait a minute,
No.
The healing ward is just enough. He is not going to die. No one falls in that entire fight. However, they are going to use a shrine. They will not have any shrines on this high ground defense, at least near their tower. Actually, they don't have any in there.
Hang it up, would you?
It's like just trying to look for cloaks, but he's not seeing any. The dire side is very frightened right now. And we do have Meepo moving in to push that top lane. The scary thing is that the Radiant have the lead and they know it. Oh, here's the fight.
Ooh, just everything missing the tiniest bit. There goes the Omni onto Master Debater, taking a lot of damage. He gets killed by the power shot. Now Chubi's on the run, gets diffuseled up, shackled to Chilled onto the
Chewie
tree.
is not going to make it out of here. Down he goes. Chilled Wind trying to get away, but it looks like it won't work. Wait, he's able to get the
tether into Hook. That was a buyback
Yeah,
on Master Debater. He cannot go down right now.
Chopped down.
He will get the Q code. No! What killed
That
him
was
so
actually
quickly?
a dieback on Master Debater. It looks like this is the turnaround they needed. We're going for an 0 for 3 buyback death, 0 for 4 technically.
But look up here. A single person, that's not going to be enough to save your friend.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it just might be
Google
enough.
Matt moving in. Chronozeal, he put down the ward. Meepo was able to single out the ward, and they are trying to deal damage. It won't. Looks like. Uh-oh, it's going to be enough. Incoming Windrunner, the Maelstrom, they're able to put down Google Matt. See, even though Google Matt did just die right there, he did force them to all move back, and they don't really have the ability to push. They can push out the lanes, but I doubt they're going to be able to take a tower in the 40 seconds they have before they have to start getting back for Invoker to get up. But what this did do is give them a very nice not gold advantage, but comeback.
That tower damage that he did at the top is quite significant as well. They'll have no problem taking that and leaving an exposed Rax at whenever they want.
Ooh. It was also really the space they needed, because even though Juggernaut is fairly powerful right now, he really needs a lot more items. It's not going to be enough to get those kills. He's got a Diffusal Blade, which is good, and he's got the Manta Style, so he is strong, but he's not necessarily strong enough to put this game on his back yet. The Windrunner also doing very well with that Aghanims, Crystalists, and Maelstrom. I would assume they're going to turn the Crystalist into a Bloodthorn just so they can counter the Invoker.
Not just the Invoker, it's a really good item for a Meepo. When the Meepos are all poofing away, you can just target one out and blow them up. Alright, Dire gonna disengage. They don't want to fight right now. Do you think they want to probably just defend high ground, get a few more good defends, and get themselves back in the game before they try and go out? Do they need to get a pick off before they do something? What's Dire's play here? They're at a small disadvantage right now with the lane.
I would say Dire's play is probably going to be something defensive. They need to put up defensive wards and just try and retake the game. See, right now, Dire are at the point where if they lose a major fight, the game is over. If they lose a minor fight, it's going to cost them at least a tower, if not a tower, instead of Rax. And the Radiant know they still have a small lead. The Dire need to have a very strong defense, like literally going like one.
Maya's gonna get a hook
4.
out of the clock. They'd use the scan. He knows there's people in here. Throws it in blind. Tornado gonna keep Clockwork. Oh, Top Gun blocked the hook shot with his big face. Now
Hook shot
Chrono.
blocked the actual. That hook was beautiful. It was actually able to save the life of Chubi. Chubi now being able to TP out. We do have the Aegis of Immortality down on Meepo. We have to go Meepo 2 times. It's going to be very difficult to do. Hook goes out, Hook misses. They don't have to worry about that. However, Pudge is now working his way around. We do have the Overcharge down on one of the Meepos. Looks like Gugu is going to fall, but he's coming right back. We still have...
he's in a rough spot now.
Yes, the Invoker dead enough falling. Pudge now falls. Meepo is now back, but it might not be enough. If they can keep this flawless, Flub is not going to make it out of this. However, that is a position 5, that is something they can lose. Down goes the Windrunner. However, after going 3 for 3 and burning an Aegis, we're able to keep everyone alive.
Chubi's ready to go, though.
Oh no, uh-oh. Looks like he's going to go down. Chubi getting a gorgeous pick off after getting the TP out. Chilled Wind was able to relocate him into that fight. However, now look at your map is in a bad place. He's done.
It'll be a full 5
He
men.
dropped the cogs and he's like, here's a little door. Feel free to come in. You know what? Don't come in. Okay, you're gonna come in. All right, bye.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Omni's Jug is not going to be up for a while as well. He bought back a while ago, and this is his this will be a long death timer on him.
Dire's top tower.
Like I said, minor loss to a fight. It's gonna cost him racks. We do have the the TP blink. They're trying to bait out that slithering crush. Looks like we're unable to quite connect with anything. If we can get a lift, there we go. Lift goes up. That was 2 buybacks. So then it looks like to defend their racks, they have to buy back, and they're not going to be able to get Chubi. And, they will get Chubi. However, we do have Master Debater, so now we have a 2v3. And it looks like it's now just a buyback, and they're going to use that momentum. Yep, the 2 buybacks are going to end up being 2 more deaths. We do have a buyback on the Juggernaut, and it's going to be 3 versus 5 here in about 15 seconds. By the time they're actually really pushing into the base, it will be at 5 versus 4. With no Windrunner, this does not look good for the Dire side. Dire does have their shrines up, but we do not have a tier 3 tower defending the top anymore.
But Radiant, off the back of that team fight with all those used, they don't need to push in. They don't push in. The economic damage from that is just massive. The Dire net worth advantage was headed down to and hit about 10,000 just before all that happened. Back up to 20,000 now with all those diebacks. Doubled their net worth lead in a matter of just a few minutes.
Absolutely. We're starting to get to that terrifying moment. The Pudge is actually about to overtake Windrunner on net worth, leaving their position 1 the only person ahead, with the Slardar now ahead of the Juggernaut. When you start getting to points like this, it can be very, very difficult to fight just in general. However, just because of how the team dynamics work, Omni Slash being a very powerful ability, Healing Ward as well, and being the Rubik, even though he's been dying, he still does a lot when they don't pick him off in fights. I feel like that's why they're always moving in on Rubik, because they know if they don't, he will make and break a fight.
A soldier's fortune.
Now it looks like they decided not to push in with their advantage. Windrunner is back up. However, once again, the Dire are scared and stuck in their base. That fight on Roshan wasn't really the best play for them, and it didn't work out.
There's not a buyback to be had. Oh, they're going to aggressively smoke out.
This is so risky. If this fight goes south for them, if they actually force a fight right now, it'll cost them the game.
They're going to be running into a lot of people.
They're going to break it on Chilled Wind. They're broken on Chilled Wind. Chilled Wind pinged him out, and they didn't have vision. He's moving in on Master Debater. They're now trying to move in, and it looks like we have the rotations coming in. Wait a minute. No, they're just moving into the little Juki tree line. Okay, here's going for a kill on on Flub. Flub is now stuck. We did just move in Meepo. We got the 5 Meepos. Flub will drop. Chrono.
That ice wall is painful.
Here, take my illusions as payment. And they say, no, we want the real you.
Now they're trying to disengage. Clockwork goes down. Chrono gets hooked as well. No, the disengage is just not there. 3 down. Well, about to be 3 down. Chrono.
Powerful enough to keep him alive. He's trying to spin away. The bash.
Kill.
I mean, really, Chubi would have gotten about 4 hits off in that time frame. But it looks like that is going to be the GG call. They did try the aggressive play, and it was not the play they needed. Good game, well played. Radiant win.
Ouch. So what do you think went wrong for Dire there? Did they just start to get disjointed, make a few bad plays? Was it a draft issue?
Definitely not a draft issue. I feel like the drafts were really solid. I feel like what ended up happening was they kept on the Radiant were really forcing that aggressive playstyle, and at first it wasn't working. The Dire actually had a nice little advantage. Their Juggernaut was farming very well, but eventually what happened was I feel like the Radiant took a bunch of fights they shouldn't have, and in trying to back out of fights, they just kind of let people get picked off. I feel like there were even a couple situations where they were just stuck in the mindset of run, 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 that they didn't try to flip it around to possibly make it so the fight wouldn't just be 4-0 from people just trying to get the hell back. That being said, also being a little bit out of position, overextended. The two big things that sealed their fate, though, were the fight on Roche when Meepo had already taken the Aegis and they still ended up trying to fight. And then the diebacks, when they tried to get the pick off, they overcommitted. They should have just chased him out of the base and let him be, as well as the final nail in the coffin, that aggressive smoke when the IO broke it and they were able to get those 3 kills on the bottom lane.
Good synopsis. All right, everyone, that was Game 1, Lobby 2, DotP Wednesday In-House's Week 3, brought to you by Wivrex and True Triage. I will see you guys for Game 2.
See y'all later.